got a mail call, and so we're going to unpackage it and see what it is.
All right, what is in here? Yeah, right. It's definitely heavy, that is for sure. And full of a lot of packaging. This feels interesting. Right, I think I know what this part is because we I talked. Okay, I definitely know this is the brass pin. I don't know what that is. These are more brass pins. I don't know what this is yet. So I don't know.
We know what these are, so we don't need to unpackage these. These are different sized brass pins. I think this is some kind of material. So this is a bearing of some kind. This is excellent steel. It's 52-100. So this is awesome, and it has all the rollers in it. So every single piece, this piece, this piece, and these pieces, and this piece will all become knives. It is loaded with grease. That is a lot of grease. So what we're probably honestly going to do is set this in a fire pit and burn this all off. So it'd probably make a very glorious fire, I bet. It is definitely slippery. So, but yes, awesome. The person that sent me this wonderful care package watches my videos, so thank you, bud. This is actually really exciting. It's like super knife nerd moment. I don't think I'll even understand. This is a lot of metal here. I mean, it's heavy. So I'm gonna go clean my hands and start opening the rest of it. Next item is 3 Bellota rasps. See? Ends have been snapped. So these are actually really good steel for knife making. So if you're going to get a rasp and you're going to make a knife out of a rasp, this is one of the brands that I actually recommend. So got 3 of them. Probably got 3 big buoys sitting here. So maybe at the we're gearing up for the Texas Select show in Belleville. So maybe at the Texas Select show, I will find 3 cool handle scales for these. So. All right, so now he's just outdone himself. These are 4 excellent. I believe these are either stag rolls or elk rolls. These things are huge. They've got excellent weight to them. Awesome marrow center, so I'll be able to drill those out and fill these with epoxy. These are gonna make some awesome knife handles. And a new microfiber cloth for, I believe this is a hockey team. So he's not getting his cloth back either. This is going in my cloth pile. All right, so we have the final package opened, and he had already messaged me and told me this was coming because he would like me to, I believe he wants me to heat treat it and finish out the handle on it. So I need to get with him and just verify, hey, you know, what are we doing? Are we doing handle and heat treat? How are we doing this? And then get back with him on that. So, yeah, this is a very excellent blade, really cool looking. Sax design. I think the intention, and I'll have more clarity after this weekend because I'm going to see him. I think the intention is what we're going to do is we're going to fix this guard here after heat treat. I'm going to do that by setting a brass pin into the guard and then peening the guard. And then with the handle, I'm going to use one of those elk handles or stag grips. I think what we're going to do is split it. I don't know if he's wanting to do a hidden tang or if he's wanting to do a full tang. I'm not sure yet. But I could split it, chisel it, and then re-glue it and pin it. That could be another option too. And then you wouldn't even see any of this, and you would just see really cool elk handle fixed to this knife right here, which is a really cool sax knife. I love it. So y'all stay tuned. That's going to be the next. Finishing out this knife is going to be a video. So we're going to finish up the current knife we're working on in this video, and then this will be finishing out this knife for him will be the next video. So thanks for watching. And finally, coffee made it into my life this afternoon. So now it's going to be a good afternoon. We're going to keep getting ready for this show. So I did reach out to him and talk to him at the show, figured out what we're doing. I'm basically getting pretty much free reign on this handle, which I'm super stoked about. And the customer that sent me this, his name is Stuart. So thank you, Stuart, for letting me do this handle, and thanks for all the material that you sent. It's going to go to great use. Now back to the Toxin build. So here we are with the Toxin build so far. We've got the engraving in there, the bevels, and we're working on the handle. I'm going to finish the other handle and then quench this knife, get it to tempering. That way I can actually get this guy finished up. The customer's been very patient. I'm very thankful for that. I did one of the handle scales off the camera just because I want to make sure I was able to do it before I went ahead and put it on camera. And I also needed to kind of work through some of the process in my own mind and just make sure that I really had it dialed in. So I'll show you the scale right now. So this is the scale right here. It turned out really cool. As you can see, it has a key in it. So the red up front and the blue in the back, which looks wicked. By the way, this is not just Spider-Man's colors, but all the black mixed in, kind of like this, represents Toxin's colors. If you look him up, he's a lot more blue. Some of artist renderings show these a lot more blue on the legs and red up top. So this is my rendering based off of kind of what I looked at. So, but I really want to do this key design just to give it a really classy look. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you now how I do that. All right, so we've got our handle material. So as you can see, this one's already drilled out, ready for this scale. I'm going to show you how I mark this scale. It's fairly simple, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how I mark it, just so that you can see and so that everybody else can see. Now, at this point, this is the marks that I had previously, as I just had little bitty scribe lines. At this point, you can do one of two things. You can very much so just take your previous piece, which is honestly what I recommend, just because this is going to be a lot cleaner of a mark, and it's going to be more exact. So take a pen. There you have it. So now we're going to go over to the bandsaw, cut this out, and then clean these up, and then I'm going to show you how we mark it on this knife here. So on the other scale. All right, so now we're gonna take these two pieces that I have, and I'm gonna show you basically how I did the other one, marked up the other one. This one on the grinder and on the bandsaw is a lot trickier and a lot less forgiving, because you're basically gonna have this little circle knob that's gonna go into here, and if you don't do it right, you're gonna royally screw it up. So what I'm gonna do is just make sure I've got a good tight grip on it. There we have it. So I'm gonna go cut it, and then we're gonna sand it. So this is what you should be left with after you cut it. You're gonna cut into the side, and just be kind of left with this. You don't want to try and cut this out. This is way better served on the grinder. So there you have it. It's not a super tight fit, but I'm gonna use epoxy. That's what I did on the other one, was I epoxied it together and made it a lot stronger and cleaned it up real good. So let's go ahead and do that. So for those of you curious, what I did here was, number one, I took some masking tape, and this is just basically what I call like just a disposable mixing station, honestly. And I mix over here, and then I glue up my work right here. This is just really efficient, really helpful. When I go to peel this off, it'll rip whatever tape comes with it, and then we can sand it, and then I can just peel this off and throw it in the trash. So masking tape is cheap. As you can tell, I used to not do this. So I have formed a bad habit. So sometimes I still do this when I'm in like a rush, and it just like makes a mess over like the whole counter. And it's really frustrating. So yeah, let this set up, let this glue up, and then we'll hand sand it, or sorry, not hand sand it, we'll machine sand it flat, and then we'll just use the other scale to trace it out. So once again, I got my blue tape of cleanliness set up, and I've got my liner material with my scales on it. The reason I'm using a liner material with more epoxy is simply because I just want it to be stronger, and having a segmented scale, or in this case a keyed scale, I want it to have a backing on it and be stronger. Once it's glued up, we'll re-drill all the holes. We will go to the bandsaw, we'll take off all the extra paper, and then we'll get it glued up on the knife. So here we have them. I didn't go through the long process of like drilling all these out and cutting all this paper, but I did show y'all about the liner. I put this nice bright blue liner on it. I think it'll look really cool. And then I went through and cleaned up all the holes. I make sure before I glue up, I always make sure that the pin that I'm going to be using will stick through it. So I made sure that it will. I point all my pins like this, so that way it's easier to get through the glue and stuff when I'm actually doing this. And then I just see when the point comes out to here, then I can just cut this pin off, repoint it, and then use it again for another knife. So we have both scales. They look really good. I think they look awesome. We are currently waiting on the knife to temper. I've got 25 minutes left on it. When it's done, we will give it a rest, let it cool off, and then we will glue these up. All right, so we got it out of heat treat. Man, this blade looks sick. Definitely awesome. All right, so now we've got the handle fitted up. We've got the matching. We got the pins through. This last pin will hammer, it fits. It just is like a locking fit, so it fits real tight. So I'm gonna put it in there last. I'm gonna have to tap it through with a hammer, but we're gonna go ahead and glue this up. So it is all glued up. That little pin is hard to get in there. It's just a really tight fit. And then what we do next is, while this is wet, we clean it up with our rubber gloves, and then the 90-degree on the end of that little Q-tip, so that Q-tip is multi-purpose. Same thing over here. Clean that up real good. And that one too. Now we'll let it dry.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Good talking. I'm sorry, give me the next, please. Can you give me the next, please? What? I'll silence the video so people can't hear it.
There it is. Toxin. So, turned out really pretty, really good looking. Blade looks awesome. That texture. Only thing left to do is to sharpen it and make a sheath for it. Man, that looks sweet. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video and my other videos, please hit the subscribe button, like button, and the bell notification button. This video was for this knife, Toxin. This was a knife that I was requested to make after I made a knife called Venom. I have a third knife coming and a fourth. So if you're smart, you'll figure it out. You can leave it in the comments if you want. I might reply and I might not. Also, just always looking for suggestions, so hit me up with some suggestions in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Stay sharp.